Hello everyone and welcome back to another Royalty Elite Weapons video here on Advanced Warfare, and this time we are taking a look at the MP443 Grach Royalty / Feeling Lucky, which I wish the Royalty was the one wood instead of the Feeling Lucky, but I did get a good team deathmatch video with the MP443 Grach 1 wood, but unlike the 1 wood, the Feeling Lucky has a built-in sight, which makes me rage so much because this is my least favorite sight in the game. And I don't know why they would think of, hey, people would be so excited to use this ACOG sight on a pistol. But yeah, my dad has the MP443 Grach Feeling Lucky, but I don't have the MP443 Grach with Feeling Lucky. Instead, I'm the only one that has the Royalty variant of it. So, and I have to play with the ACOG sight, unfortunately, but I'm playing with the laser sight just because it fixes one downside with this weapon, so I'm going to be doing a free-for-all with both the... I'll be doing a free-for-all with both the Feeling Lucky and the Royalty version of the Feeling Lucky, which I do prefer. I do prefer the Royalty MP443 Grach over this one because it's so much better. And by the way, yes, I am playing on Atlas Gorge, and you're probably wondering how I have Atlas Gorge all of a sudden. What? It was 4 shots! Come on! Why is this pistol at bad range? It does have a 2-shot kill range, and but you're probably wondering why. Because Atlas Gorge was actually released today, and it's finally free to everybody. So literally, this ain't a DLC. Oh, this ain't a DLC map anymore. Anybody can use this. Anybody can use this thing. What is this thing? Anybody? What the fuck? This map, man. I'm liking it. I mean, I like the fact that we're finally able to use it for free. Like, before it was free, but we had to install it. This time, literally anybody can use it, which I find that Sledgehammer is really generous for. But, kind of talk about the Feeling Lucky, and, I'm not sure if I like it variant. I mean, it's good, but, like, I'm not sure if I like it that much. Like, if it didn't have an ACOG sight and instead had one more upside in exchange for a bad side, I guess it would be okay. But this variant has -1 damage, so both the MP443 Grachs have -1 damage, so you do less damage to people if you're at like far ranges. That's why it's taking like more than 4 shots to kill. And this is the same for the 1 wood, except the 1 wood's way better because it has the only good side of this weapon. Now, this is something I don't like. Both elite variants of the MP443 Grach have the same upside, and I'm not sure if I like that. Because, I'm not sure if I like that it has, that both MP443 Grachs have the same upside. Like, the 1 wood has +3 range, while this one has +2 range and an ACOG sight. Like, I don't want to use an ACOG sight on my pistol. Like, seriously. But like, it has +2 range, which is very good because you have a longer 2 to 3 shot kill range with this thing. With the 1 wood, it's even longer, but yeah, just saying, you have a longer 3-shot range with this pistol, which I find very cool. You have a longer 3 or 2-shot with this pistol. Now, into another bad side of this weapon, you have a handling decrease of 1, so you have a 10% wider hipfire spread, which is not a big deal, but I use the laser sight to counter that anyway, because just to make sure that that downside, isn't there. So yeah, that's that. And as well as this pistol having a built-in ACOG sight, which I'm gonna consider a bad thing. Usually it'd be a good thing if like there's a like a built-in red dot sight is helpful, but stuff like a built-in ACOG sight, like, I don't want to use it in ACOG sight in this pistol. I mean, red dot sights and target enhancers, sure, I'll use. I mean, I have no problem with the target enhancer on the Bulldog Mancy, but with this MP443 Grach variant, I'm not sure if I like it, so, yeah, just saying. And this is why I prefer the one wood over the Feeling Lucky. Except the one wood has more recoil, but more range, which is why I like the one wood better. Its range is even bigger than the Feeling Lucky. So yeah, here's the Feeling Lucky one last time. -1 damage, +2 range, and -1 handling, and a built-in ACOG sight. Now we're gonna do another free-for-all on Atlas Scorch with the MP443 Grach royalty once I get on my other account. So 1 second. Okay, so now we are starting a match with the MP443 Grach royalty here. Another free-for-all on Atlas Gorge, because I can't not get enough of this map since they released it for free. I'm so glad they did.
Free for all.
See, here's the royalty version of the Grach, which, yes, still has an ACOG sight, unfortunately. But the thing with this pistol is that it has one more upside, one more upside than the downside, so we're going to talk about that today, so doing another free-for-all. So, yes, for this pistol, for the MP443 Grach Feeling Lucky, I'm just going to remind you of the stats one more time. We have -1 damage, +2 range, -1 handling, as well as a built-in ACOG sight. But with the MP443 Grach royalty here, there's no handling decrease, so your hipfire spread remains the same as if you were to use the default MP443 Grach. So that's a good thing about this variant, is that it has no hipfire change to it, so you can hipfire with this comfortably, and that's why I didn't need to put on a laser sight in this variant. Instead, I'm using the what is it? Instead, I'm using the what is it? Yeah. Instead, I'm using the extended max. That's what I meant to say. It gone over my mind for a sec. So yeah, I'm using extended max for this thing, because that's what I kind of need for pistol. Still has +2 range, but this one's better because it has no handling penalty. But it still does have -1 damage in the ACOG, which I say pretty bad. So like and I'm kind of disappointed. Like I'm disappointed that the Feeling Lucky is the royalty variant of the Grach, because I don't want it to be the royalty variant, because like I would like it to be the one wood, because the one wood doesn't have what the hell? Oh wow. Because the one wood doesn't have a decrease in because the one wood doesn't have a built-in sight. It's just a plain old MP443 Grach. So therefore, therefore this one is like a MP443 Grach royalty camo, but unfortunately it has an ACOG sight, and that's disappointing to me, because like I want to see what an MP443 Grach looks like with that in royalty camo. Purple royalty camo, that is, without the ACOG sight. Like, it's the same with the HBR3 bare fist. Like, I want to see regular iron sights with the HBR royalty. Like, that's why I wish the HBR royalty was the bare fist, and this is why I wish that the MP443 Grach royalty was the one wood, since it doesn't have like a sight on it, and I want to see royalty camo like without a sight, because it kind of ruins it for me. You know what I mean? It's same with the Bulldog Mancy. Like, I wish it was the face hammer, because first of all, the face hammer is the best shotgun in the game, and second of all, the face hammer has an optic restriction. So, unlike the I was talking, so I was distracted. Unlike the
UAV above.
Bulldog Nancy, which has a target enhancer. I mean, the target enhancer is an okay attachment, but although it does take up an attachment slot, I think that's why people don't like the Bulldog Nancy. But like, yeah, you're not gonna get a 2-shot kill from this one. Come on, I'm so distracted. I gotta do better. But yeah, I honestly think that this variant is not worth keeping since it's a poor made up version of I honestly don't think this elite is worth keeping. I think you should scrap this elite only because this is the poor man's version of the one wood. Like, which one would I prefer? A MP443 Grach with less range, with MP443 Grach with less range and an ACOG sight, or no, an MP443 Grach with no additional recoil and an ACOG sight, or an MP443 Grach with more range, no sight, and more recoil. And I'm gonna take the more range, less recoil. Okay, forget the thing about the range. Would I prefer an MP443 Grach with no recoil, with no additional recoil but a sight, or an MP443 Grach with no sight but additional recoil? And I prefer the additional recoil option. And I just did that to have fun, because why not? This map has a lot of cars. 2-shot kill. There we go. So there's the MP443 Grach, the Grach. I can't do it now, but with extended mags and forced on ACOG sight that you have to use. They made the pistols powerful in this game, but they're weak at long ranges. Like, they buffed the pistols to become strong. Like the Atlas, the PDW, and the MP443 Grach all got buffed. Atlas is buffed to do 2 shots, and MP443 Grach buffed to do 2 shots, and PDW buffed to do 3 shots. So here's the MP443 Grach Feeling Lucky / Royalty, which is -1 damage, +2 range, -1 handling, and an ACOG sight. With the Royalty, you don't have a handling decrease, and that's why it's the same as the one would, because it has -1 damage still, plus range still, and minus handling still. But this one's better. The recoil is not that noticeable, but yeah, I prefer this one over the Feeling Lucky. But it's an okay variant, but I think you should scrap it since the one wood is a much better choice. All right, so see ya, guys, for episode number 11.